This is Warsaw, the capital city of Poland. Warsaw is a city with a fascinating culture, a rich but sometimes troubled history, and now a growing modern flair. We'll discover art museums, castles, and the charm of Old Town, with its colorful facades and cobblestone streets, all the while navigating for those with limited mobility. Warsaw has something for everyone. Join us on a journey through this amazing city. Welcome to Two Long Blocks. This channel is dedicated to those who have a passion for traveling the world but might face mobility challenges. Hi, I'm Bob, and I have multiple sclerosis. Join my wife, Gina, and I as we travel to amazing places. We aim to inform, inspire, and empower everyone to venture forth and make unforgettable memories. We arrived at the Warsaw Airport coming in from the U.S. via Amsterdam. This is the Chopin Airport, named after Frederick Chopin, one of the favorite sons of Warsaw. Although Chopin was actually born in Żelazowa Wola, he grew up in Warsaw. Chopin was a virtuoso pianist and composer during the Romantic period. He is best known for his solo piano compositions. From the airport, we took an Uber into town. Now, although rideshare applications are not available in all European countries, they are in operation in Poland. And when they are available, we have found these to be the most convenient way to get around a city. This is especially true if you have limitations in your mobility, because there's generally not a long walk to get to a pickup spot and there's always seating available. From the airport, we went straight to our hotel, the Hotel Balato. This building is an old palace whose construction began in the 16th century. It has served in many capacities over the centuries, from a residence to a municipal building. Nearly destroyed in 1939 during the September German campaign, it was reconstructed after the war and was a registry office for a while. In 2016, the palace was refurbished and turned into a hotel. Also inside the hotel are a restaurant, a cafe, and a casino. For mobility, the elevator did not go all the way to our floor. It stopped at a landing that was between floors, and we had to walk up about a half a flight of steps to get to the floor where our room was. Now, there was a chairlift that you could use for that short set of stairs, but we chose not to use it. After we got checked into our room that evening, we met with friends who live in Warsaw at a restaurant called Stara Zafa. The name means Old Wardrobe in English, and the interior design fits the name. The menu is traditional Polish food and delicious. Pelmeni, pierogies, stuffed cabbage. Their website has the menu in English. Please check in the section below for all of the details. After travel all day from the U.S., once we were finished with dinner, we headed straight back to the hotel. The next morning, our first stop was the Royal Castle in Warsaw. To get to the castle, you will walk across Castle Square. In the center of Castle Square is Sigismund's Column. Sigismund's Column is one of the most famous landmarks in Warsaw. It is dedicated to Sigismund III Vasa, King of Poland and Grand Duke of Lithuania from 1587 until 1632. A devout and somewhat zealot Roman Catholic, he ruled in a time of prosperity and moved the country's capital from Krakow to Warsaw. From Castle Square, you will go to the Royal Castle. The earliest construction of the Royal Castle dates all the way back to the 14th century. It has been a royal residence, but now it's a museum with a large collection of Polish art and artifacts. Almost completely destroyed during World War II, with only a few fragments remaining, the castle has been slowly reconstructed back to its pre-war style, financed by voluntary contributions. See the story of its reconstruction, linked in the details below. From the Royal Castle, it was out to Old Town. Like many old towns throughout Europe, the Old Town streets are made of cobblestone. For those who have balance and walking issues, this can be a little bit daunting, so it's something to watch out for. If you notice on this street, there is a smoother area that is made of brick pavers. This might be of value for those who need a smoother surface to walk on. Notice there is no motorized traffic. Something else to remember in older buildings. Note that the steps up the stoop on each of the doorways. Additionally, there are often steps down on the opposite side of the door that you'll have to navigate. This is a remnant of the true threshold. Back in the days when thresholds actually held threshings, many shops will have something that you'll have to step over and back down to get into the shop. One of the interesting landmarks along this old town street is known as the House Among Doves. Kazimierza Masak was a lady who resided in Old Town and fed the pigeons here before World War II. Through the war, she continued to feed the pigeons, even using her own food rations to get enough for them to eat. This little memorial, which is a stone relief over the archway, is a tribute to the woman who has become known as the Old Town Pigeon Lady. After Russia launched attacks on Ukraine, Ukrainian citizens seeking refuge have poured into Poland. Over 1.5 million Ukrainians have come to Poland seeking that refuge. The Polish people have opened their hearts and shown the world what solidarity is all about, said the Polish Deputy Interior Minister. It is very common to see pro-Ukrainian signs and demonstrations throughout Poland. In a place called Cannon Square, you will find a large bronze bell. The legend behind this bell is a tragic one. It's a story about two young men in love with the same girl, which leads to both murder and suicide. Somehow, this tragic story has ended up with the bell in Old Town being a symbol of good luck and granted wishes. If you circle the bell 3 times, you will get good luck. Finally, you will come into the Old Town Square. The theme, in my impression, of Warsaw has been resurgence. In these images, you can see the colorful facades of the buildings in Old Town Square, but this square was virtually destroyed during World War II. There is a statue of a mermaid right in the middle of Old Town Square. Legend has it that the mermaid was captured by a merchant, and local fishermen on the Vistula River heard her crying out and rescued her. And ever since then, armed with her sword and shield, she defends Warsaw. There is a related part of the legend that says the Mermaid of Warsaw is actually the sister of the Little Mermaid in Copenhagen, and that they parted ways in the Baltic Sea. Although the statue of the mermaid was unveiled prior to World War II, it somehow was not on the list of objects intended by the Nazis to be destroyed or stolen. And despite the fact that Warsaw was nearly 90% destroyed during the war, the mermaid survived without major damage. Coming out of Old Town Square, you'll come to this horseshoe-shaped wall, towers, and gate. These are the old Warsaw Barbican, an outpost that was part of the old city, and the wall was built in 1540. The Little Insurrectionist. This is a monument in commemoration of the child soldiers who fought and died during the Warsaw Uprising against the German Wehrmacht of 1944 during their occupation. The statue is of a young boy wearing a helmet too large for his head and holding a submachine gun. The helmet, boots, and submachine gun are styled after the German weapons and gear from that era. These would have been captured and then used by the insurrectionists during this uprising. The story of the Warsaw Uprising at the end of World War II is a heroic but somewhat sad story. As the citizens of Warsaw rose up against the Nazi occupation, Russians waited outside the city, failing to render much-needed aid. As day one of our journey comes to an end, we've learned a lot from the enchanting streets of Warsaw, about its culture and about its history. Be ready to join us for parts 2 and 3 as we continue to embark on our exploration of Warsaw. And remember, even if you have limitations in your mobility, you can do this. It's a big, beautiful world out there. Get out and explore it.